This is, without a doubt, the world's most successful sprint coach. Head coach Stephen Francis. Head coach in MVP track and field club in Jamaica. You can forget everything about Bob Marley. This is Jamaican hero. At the Beijing Olympics, his sprinters won almost as many medals than the whole US on the sprint distances. And as you can see, Mr. Francis doesn't look like a sprinter. He looks like a sumo wrestler. He never sprinted. He graduated in statistics at the University of Michigan. And coming back to Kingston, Jamaica, he founded MVP Track and Field Club. Well, the interesting part of his story is that he didn't recruit the most talented athletes, the top 5% that everybody else went for. He took second, third, and fourth level athletes that nobody heard of and made them world class. So he basically speaks about two types of potential. He speaks about what he calls potential that shouts. Potential that shouts is Usain Bolt, who at the age of 15 ran faster on the 200 meter than the Swedish record that had been standing for 50 years. Obviously, high in performance, high potential, can't miss athletes. And I mean, you need to be blind not to see that kind of talent. I think in business, we also have potential that shouts. Easy to see. The problem with these guys is they're very, very expensive. And if you're a company that don't have the big budget, it's probably impossible to get these guys. So the same was true for Francis. So he decided to look for a different kind of potential, what he calls potential that whispers. Potential that whispers is Asafa Powell. He was the world record holder on the 100 meter before Usain Bolt took over the stage. At the age of 17, this guy was rejected by almost all colleges in Jamaica because they were sure he was never going to make it. So how do you spot this potential that whispers? That's the big question. So Stephen Francis' first lesson, I'm going to give you his 4 lessons today. His first lesson is that great talent is not necessarily right talent. There's a lot of examples of companies and examples from sports where we tend to confuse great talent with right talent. A great example that I like a lot is the NFL, where they every year has this event called the NFL Scouts and Combine, where they basically call in the 300 top college talents to Indianapolis, and they test them on all kinds of tests, how fast they can run, how much weight they can lift, how tall they can jump. So they also test people on intelligence tests, because they think how well you do on an intelligence test is a good indicator for how well you'll do as a quarterback in the NFL. It makes sense, because if you're the quarterback, you need to have well-developed cognitive skills, be a quick, confident decision maker. Makes sense. The problem is that when we look at some of the best quarterbacks in the history of NFL, like Terry Bradshaw, Dan Marino, they score in the lowest 10% on this test. So it may be great talent if you want to win a big quiz show on TV to be good on that intelligence test, but apparently it's a useless indicator for how well you'll do as a quarterback. It's not the right talent.